Hey yo, what is up, y'all? It's your boy Be the King 27. Got my man Josh in here, and we have a very special guest, a fellow East Coast content creating legend.
East Coast,
My
West
man.
Coast.
What did you say?
East Coast, West Coast.
It's not how that goes.
It is.
Oh, but anywho, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. AnonymousRae.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that fucking
sir.
amazing introduction, bro. Legend, maybe, probably, possibly, but yo, thank you guys so much for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you guys reaching out. Yeah, man, I'm humble, grateful to be here, and let's do this shit, man. Let's knock it out the fucking park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely. You were definitely like a must-have. Like when we were doing the podcast, like we were trying to work through everybody, and like you were like the last person on the list, just chronologically, but definitely not as far as like picking people. And I was like, yo, we got to get him. We got to get to him, and it worked out, man. We had Chelsea.
Rebuttal, real quick. Why did you feel that way, though?
Dude, you're a whole vibe, right? Like I think we've been mutuals on Twitter for at least a year now. Like time flies, we're getting old. And I think like we just like bumped into you on Twitter, and I was like, yo, this dude likes like everything that I like, right? So we've been following each other for a little while. I've got to sit in on your streams. I don't know if Josh has had an opportunity to, but yo, grade A content.
Thank you, man.
I was like, yo,
I appreciate
we got to sit down with this dude. So here we are today, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so fucking much. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
kind of.
go ahead. You go.
Nah. You want to bully me already, dog? Go ahead.
I wasn't even bullying
What you gotta say?
Yeah, don't listen to him.
Nah, go ahead and take control, dog. Go ahead and take control. I'm here for it.
Come on, bully Josh. You got this, man.
So,
take control.
What you guys didn't see is for like 5 minutes, I got attacked right before we hit the live button. And he's talking about my hairline. He's
5 minutes for each one of his fingers that he can fit on his forehead.
This guy.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I can co-sign this did happen. The bullying did take place. The bullying did take place. Yeah.
Intimidation, just straight harassment.
But if your friends don't bully you, then like, come on, like.
Yeah, do they even love him?
Yeah.
Do they even don't bully him? Because I don't love him.
Dang.
No, I'm just playing.
Oh. This man's wild. On what's today? Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah.
But it ain't the Lord's Day, so we cutting up.
Okay. All right, so I was gonna say this man said that he was gonna be low energy because he's getting off of work. Look at this dude. Look at this dude, bro.
That was all cap.
Yeah,
was all cap.
I'm always here for the smoke. All right, that junk energizes me. Right, I play Call of Duty Search or Destroy. Like you got to be ready. Like you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
It's not a match if I don't get called the hard R or nothing, bro. I'll just be sitting here just chilling. But then the moment somebody goes, I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing?
Oh, we playing today. What's the game right now?
Yeah, these games matter now.
This man's wild.
Yeah, I'm dead already. What the fuck?
But back to Ray. Back to Ray.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
I was gonna say we can start it off, but just by talking how you got into streaming and content creation, and that doesn't necessarily mean just streaming on Twitch. It can mean making a Twitter account, posting your gaming clips. Like, how did you start doing that?
Hold on, we skipped a step. We didn't let Ray talk about Ray. Where to follow him, the socials and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll say that for the end. I don't really care about all that.
Okay.
Like
fans will care though. They want to see you. They want to see you.
They need to see you. They need to know where to see you.
Well, it's kind of like a purgatory state I'm in. So
Oh God.
I feel like once we get through the discussion, it'll explain all that. And then, so right now to say anything like follow me here, look for me here, it might just be fucking a moot point. You know what I mean? It's like, because I'm not really streaming right now. But to go back to the question, so initially I started like most people, COVID era. the COVID baby streamers. Yeah. And I started on Mixer, right? And I started in May 2020 on Mixer.
Can I ask what is Mixer? Like I heard of Mixer, but I never
So Mixer was Microsoft's answer to Twitch. Okay. They were trying to get into the space. They had dropped a big bag for Ninja, brought him over there. They dropped a big bag for Stroud. I'm talking about like, I think they gave Ninja like 15 mil.
Okay.
And they dropped a big bag for Stroud, brought him over there. So they were streaming exclusively on Mixer. And it's Microsoft's answer to Twitch because they were trying to get into the streaming space.
I'm going to guess it died because I never heard about it after that.
Well, that's what... So I started streaming on Mixer for a month. And man, it was brutal, bro. Like it was truly the NCAA of streaming. Okay. But I'm happy I went through that process. I'm happy I went through it might not have been the NCAA. It might have been the D League. Yeah, it was the D League of streaming.
Worse.
Yeah. No, that's where it was. But it helped me become a better streamer. But that's where I started. Like my streams were fucking grotesque, like absolutely terrible. And I'm streaming like I'm talking about like it was just no community, no interaction, but it was a good starting point for me, right? So I started streaming there. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm like, yo, I want to stay committed and stick with Mixer because the people I were meeting were just genuinely good people. And then Mixer highest content creators got caught up in all type of sexual allegations. So like the big partners that Mixer was pushing, not the Strouds and Ninjas, but the other Mixer partners, I guess. Yeah. And they were having like making people mods for sexual favors and all this other stuff. And because Mixer is so small and minute, it was more of a bigger deal than, let's say, Twitch, like to be put in that position to be a mod, to be put in position to run somebody's stream and stuff. And so long story less longer, Microsoft got all this backlash from all this sexual allegations. They meet up at parties, taking advantage of young adults and minors, these partners through Mixer. So Microsoft shut it down, sold it to Facebook, and then we were all in kind of purgatory after Mixer. Mind you, I was only there for 1 month. And so everybody did a mass exodus. It was called the Mixer Refugee. We all left Mixer and went to Twitch. And then I started on Twitch in June 2020. And that's where I started my content creation journey on Twitch.
Okay. That's a nice little story. It sounded like a lot happened in that little month.
That little month was wild, bro. Yeah. It was wild.
So what made you decide to go with, say, Twitch versus YouTube or Facebook gaming? Was there a specific reason, or was it just felt organic?
To go with Twitch, I had my buddy there, and shout out to Dennis. That's like my guy. Like me and Dennis are IRL friends. I've known him since he was like 14. He's known me since I was about 16, 17 at the time. So we've known each other for about 15 plus years, like 15 years, right? So I've known him. I know his entire family. He kept telling me, come to Twitch, come to Twitch, come to Twitch, come to Twitch, man. Just come to Twitch, bro. And even when I was in Mixer, he was like, yo, just come to Twitch. And so when Mixer shut down, he was like, bro, I got you. Just join up in my community. I got you. I'm going to get you an affiliate. I'm going to take care of you. We going to build and do this together. He got me all my followers, like organic people. He ingratiated me into his Twitch community. I met all those amazing people there. He got me affiliate, and, you know, he definitely looked out for me in my early years of Twitch, just like showing me how to content create, showing me how to embellish, I guess, your personality on the camera. And he just definitely showed me that, like, the pay it forward method. Like, you know, you try to leave things better for people that are coming after you, right? Yeah. So I always took that and was like, you know, if people are under me in the streaming community, I want to kind of build them up and big them up and help them get to a point. And so that was like my first, I want to say 2 months, 2-3 months into Twitch. And then I just started rolling, man. I just started trying to find my way. It was still my early stages. It was, you know, not really knowing how to interact with chat, focusing on the game, not knowing how to control the room where you have people talking in your stream, like on comms and stuff, and not being able to control the setting and do what you have to do as a content creator. So my first 3-4 months was still kind of brutal. And I just started looking at people I idolize and trying to take bits and pieces from them on how to mold and shape my content creating. It was a rough patch because I had went through many phases, especially early on. But yeah, man, like I said, I started looking at people that I look up to in the content creation space and seeing things that I can borrow from them, but put my twist on it, my take on it. You know what I mean?
So like you basically, from what I'm hearing, you took influence from different streamers that you liked and you admired how they did their content, and you used that in your own streaming in a way that only you could do. And you
actually, no, go ahead, my bad. Sorry.
Oh no, it's all right. You can.
Actually, they weren't streamers.
They weren't streamers. Okay.
No, I looked at 3 people, and I always tell this, anybody who knows me, like my inner circle, they knows who I'm talking about. I looked at the 3 Joes as my content creation borrowing ideas from. Joe Buttons, Joe Rogan, Joanne the Scammer. Right? Okay. So, because Joanne for satire, comedic purposes, Joe Buttons for hot takes, abrasive personality. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, do what the fuck I want, and live with the consequences of whatever is said and done. Yeah. And Joe Rogan for the purposes of learning on how to, if I do have a space where I interview people, to allow them to talk and be a great listener. And it's not about me. It's about but like emboldening this person and making this person tell their story and just being a great listener. So those were the 3 people I took insight from.
Yeah, Joe Rogan is like definitely one of the like most underrated people. Like, and I think some of it is his personality, but like I used to listen to his podcast like every day, and it had nothing to do with him. It's kind of, he is probably one of the most fair people. Like he can have somebody he 3,000% disagrees with, right? Yep. But he still makes it a safe place for them. You get to hear what they're saying, and like when I heard that, I was like, that makes absolute sense.
And that's exactly spot on. Like I wanted to be a great listener, not be so, because I'm naturally a combative person. Like and it's not like maliciously or anything. It's just like, if you have opinions, I have opinions. Let's debate on them. And if your opinions are better than mine, I'm a realist. I'm willing to change my opinions if you present facts to me. Like, you know, if you present a great argument, I'll be like, you know what, Brian, you're right. I'll change the way I view this. But also I had to learn how to be a better listener and conversationalist in that space. Because that's the amazing thing about Joe Rogan's podcast, is that I can lose myself in 4 hours and he'll probably say about 50 words. He's like, tell me more. But it's not like fake. He's like intently listening. And he's actually giving good questions back to them, like, because he's really taking in all that information. And I'm like, I need to learn how to do that better. You know what I mean? So the 3 Joes are my streaming content creators that I look to.
Yeah, I think what I admire about Joe so much is that the people that he brings on his show are usually like experts and like quote unquote experts in whatever they're doing. So he knows that like him giving a bunch of input and like talking over whatever they're talking about, is it going to make sense when the person, of course they came for the Joe Rogan show, but they came because that guest is on the Joe Rogan show and they want to hear what they have to say, you know? Yeah. So I think I have a lot of respect for what he did with that. I was gonna say your answer is one of the more interesting answers that we've gotten because I feel like usually when you talk to someone in whatever field they're in, like let's talk about NBA. There's an NBA player, most of the time they're always looking up to like Michael Jordan, Kobe, people in their own field. But you look kind of outside your own field and say, yo, I like how this person does this. I like how he listens. I like how he thinks. I like how he spits hot topics. I really admire that your influences are kind of different from the usual influences of other streamers and gamers.
Yeah. Of course. I don't look to other streamers. I initially did. I have my favorites. Like I will say that. Like for sure, I love Nick Merckx. Like I'm a big Nick Merckx fan. You know, I like the Dr. Disrespect. I love Tim. Tim is like literally me because he's so shit at video games. but he's just so infectious that you can't you can't
you
hate
love
him. You love him. Like, and I'm not the best gamer. Like, I'm mediocre to bad. You know what I mean? I'm mediocre to bad. So I'm not the best gamer. I have my favorite streamers that I look to, but anytime, and this is just me, right? And we're definitely gonna divulge more into this. I've always looked at what people do. Just background about myself, like you guys know, like I was military intelligence. So my background is in military intel, which was to analyze, plan, look at historical data, and project that for the future to, try to get somewhat type of analytical data points to understand what's going to happen. And I always, when I see people doing stuff, I'm naturally just a rebel. Like, I don't look to do what everybody else is doing. I always look to innovate and do the opposite. If everybody's going to be, which we're going to go into, which if everybody's being positive and superpower friendship like Yugi and Joey and them, I'm going to be the Kaiba. I'm going on the other side of the pool because there's a whole market there that's not being tapped because everybody is doing the same thing trend-wise.
Yeah.
So that leaves a voiceless group of people over here that need somebody. Right. And I'll be the heel that they need.
And I was gonna say,
hey, sometimes you got to do that. I remember when you teased, like, when I come back, am I coming back as a face or a heel? And I forget how I responded. I think I said something like, be an anti-hero or something like that.
I think you did, yep.
I didn't want you to pick a side. I was like, yo, be an anti-hero, bro. Like, I feel that.
And I was going to say, since you brought up that topic, I know before we even hopped in the podcast, before we started recording, you said you wanted to discuss kind of hot topics and, like, give your honest, true opinions about stuff.
Yeah.
And you brought up how, like, being a heel, being the voice of people who are kind of not scared, but, like, just don't want to voice their opinions for whatever reason there is.
Yeah.
So we all know this guy's name. We all know the stuff that's been happening in the past couple months with this guy.
Who's this?
Andrew Tate. What do you think? Oh, my phone. Hello?
Difficulties. I forgot to pay for his internet bill. My bad, dog.
The frick? Yeah. What just happened?
I have no idea.
They shut off the Wi-Fi.
He just got doxxed.
Put some respect on my guy. He said, I'm tired of y'all playing with my name.
They shut me off.
He said, Andrew Tate, and that just said.
Yeah, man, you got doxxed for that. Your recording didn't stop, did it?
No, my recording's still going. I don't know why. Okay. But I was gonna say I don't want to get too much into Andrew Tate's ideas and stuff like that because we're not that type of podcast. But when it comes to Andrew Tate and his position of speaking for people who wouldn't have the confidence to speak whatever he's saying online, how do you feel about that? You know, because a lot of people hate Andrew Tate. I'm not gonna say
100%.
It's for bad reason. It's definitely good reason and definitely understanding of why they hate him. But it is fair to say, at least in my opinion, that he does speak for a group of people who just aren't heard or just don't want to speak or just are scared of what society's going to think of their ideas. What do you think of that?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So I don't know if you guys follow MMA. I believe
Brian
you do.
Follows
you do.
Yeah,
of course, Brian follows. There's a great guy named Chael Sonnen, which Brian knows. There you go. He taught me a very valuable lesson, right? And I never looked at it this way. And Brian, your mind's gonna get blown too, right? And this is gonna kind of answer the Andrew Tate thing. He said, you have heroes and you have villains. You have your face and your heel. You can be the villain of the story, but you don't want to be the dick, right? You don't want to be the asshole. And he's like, what's the difference between an asshole and a villain? And I'm thinking to myself, what is the difference? Like, a villain, you need to be an asshole or whatever to be a villain, right? He says, look at all your villains that are just mainstream. Look at all the anti-heroes, the Stone Cold, the Venoms, the whatever, anything. You have to have a moral code even as a villain.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, we'll use Stone Cold because I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Stone Cold's moral code was, you could be a man, you could be a woman, you could be an old person, you could be the boss, you could be the janitor. Everybody's going to get their ass kicked.
Yeah, everybody.
There's no prejudice. There's no bias. I have a line. You cross that line, your ass is mine.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy, but he's beating up the bad guys and he's beating up the good guys. He has a moral code. An asshole dick is just a person who maliciously attacks people with that is unwarranted and for no reason. So they're lower than a villain is because they have no purpose, no meaning, no moral code. Andrew Tate, in my personal opinion, falls into the asshole and dick. He's not a heel. He's not a villain. He is saying all these things for exploitation, for monetized gain. And he may feel that way. He may not. But he's maliciously going out of his way to incite and hurt people. And he has no moral code except to his own bottom line, which is money. So to answer your question, I don't agree with him. If he genuinely felt that way, there's better ways to express it. But talking about hitting women to put them in their place or to do all this is finito. Like you are just an asshole and a dick, and you have no moral ground, and you're only doing this for shock value purposes. He's probably the sweetest guy in the world, and he's just lying for the camera. So
Colby Covington.
I think
there you go.
I think the answer was 100% facts. That was an excellent answer. That. I'm not gonna lie. That had me intrigued. I was sitting there like, dang, what's he about to say? Like,
he tied MMA, kickboxing,
and
wrestling. 3 separate guys,
all in one.
Into one answer. Yo,
that's why I need to follow this man. But like,
exactly,
your answer was perfect. In my opinion, of course.
Thank you.
What do you think about people who's gonna look at like people like Andrew Tate or people who are doing things like him and think, oh, in order for me to get big on YouTube, Twitch, social media, TikTok, I need to be a crazy personality, but like crazy extreme on whatever ideals I'm projecting. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about people who's gonna look at him and say, okay, I want to follow what he's doing because he made it, and I want to make it too?
I mean, that's been going on before Andrew Tate. I mean, you had, if I'm not mistaken, what? TK, is his name TK or TK, something like that? It was a rapper who went out and shot people just to make a song about it.
Yeah.
And the song blew up that he literally killed people. He literally had just killed people.
I'm not gonna lie, that song was fire. I'm not gonna I'm sorry.
No, a lot of people do say the song is fire, but he literally went out and killed people just to make a song that his raps match what he did. Yeah. Just to blow up. So it's not
just he was arrested? He was arrested in Jersey, bro. That's where he was found.
Yeah. And it's not just a Andrew Tate thing. It's a systematic thing that is just globally taking over. It's a validation thing, man. Everyone is seeking the approval and validation of everyone else, like, because attention can turn into money. The amount of attention you can create, you can flip that into money. That's the new brick. That's the new drug. That's the new, I can get this pack off, is by gaining attention and flipping that into money. So everyone is willing to sell their soul, sell their moral codes, and do what they have to do to get that attention. Andrew Tate, like I said, he may genuinely feel this way. But he was big and rich before that. Like, he made a lot of money off of kickboxing, like a lot of money. So for him to just come out and maliciously spew this, it leans more towards that he actually does feel like this because he had the money. He had the money. So what is his motive to do this? So he may just be trying to speak up for people who feel the same way. But, you know, there's a way to do things and there's a way not to. So
it all goes into that whole untapped market thing, like speaking for people who haven't spoken for themselves. I think there is the whole thing with untapped markets and trying to find out untapped markets, but I think there's also a thing with some markets are untapped for a reason. You know what I mean? Like
that is very true. They deserve to be untapped. I 100% agree.
There's a reason why
there's
not a big racist YouTuber with like 5 million subscribers on YouTube. Like that market shouldn't be spoken for. You know?
I mean, you don't know though.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Somebody's out there.
You don't know though.
Somebody calling us all kind of coons.
Oh
yeah.
Jigaboos.
I need at least publicly.
Somebody's gonna live react to this and be like, "Look at him. He got braids in his head. Why? Why is your hair braided? You know, like, why are they speaking perfect English?
I didn't know they could speak that well.
No joke. Yo, I was just talking to my coworkers, right? Like, I'm the only black dude at work, and I was telling them, I was like, you know, what's crazy, bro? Like, you could just be talking to like white people, and they're like, oh my god, you speak so well. Like, am I not supposed to?
Yes. I've gotten that so many times throughout my life.
I speak English. I was born here.
Well. Yeah. Like, okay. And it's mostly because like when I was younger, when I was before like 12 years old, before 10 years old, I lived in not the best. It wasn't the worst area by far, but it wasn't the best area. It was bad schooling. There was fights every day, blah, blah, blah. But then later on,
I'm just playing.
Later on, we moved in with our cousins when I was around 10 years old. And they went to mostly white school. It was a very suburban area, like $1 million houses and crap like that. And I would get like a good education, and I'll be able to speak better than I was speaking before. When I was talking to people, especially like adults, they were like, "Oh, you speak so well," and that never clicked into my head until like a month ago. I was looking at a TikTok, and someone was like, "When people tell you speak so well just because you're black," I was like, "Wait a second."
Yeah,
that didn't click in my head. I was like, "Why are you telling me that I speak well?"
They don't, because it's expected.
Yeah,
it's expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely a crazy thing to think about. But changing topics, changing gears. So describing your streams and like your content, what would you describe your content as?
I would describe my streams. That's a tough one.
It could be multiple things. It don't have to be one thing.
I would say I don't have.
You don't have the words. I can tell you.
I don't, because I'm like honestly trying to think, right? Like I've gone through multiple iterations, and I felt like I didn't hit my groove. Like literally before I stopped streaming, like I went through an e-girl phase, right?
What?
Where I was exploiting my looks to get attention. Like, yo,
ain't no way.
Chris Brown looking boy. Okay. He was okay. No. It's okay.
I'm so
let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, we talk about it all.
Let's get that.
No, we're gonna talk about it all. We're gonna talk about it all. I'm so transparent about everything that I've done in streaming. I've always been the one, like, now when I talk to people or advise or do anything like that, I tell them, like, man, listen to me, bro. Like, this is the route you can go down. I've done follow for follow. I've done support for support. I've done e-girl Ray, using my looks or pictures to even men to entice them to come to my stream. I've done.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Nothing wrong with that. But
hey, I've done. I've played the e-girl part. You know, I've done different levels of wild shit, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I felt my groove. I found my groove when I stopped worrying about viewership, where I stopped worrying about interaction, where I stopped looking at my viewer count and trying to strategize on what game to play and how often I got to be on TikTok, how often I have to be on Discord, how often I have to do this. Why do I have to say good morning when I don't feel like saying good morning, or interacting with people when I feel like being isolated? I feel like I found my groove when I hit January, and I was just pushing out content and just trying to innovate. I was not looking at how can this blow me up, but how can I change people? How can I change the way streaming is done? I didn't want to be the same streamer no more that was just hey, I'm playing this game. Hey, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. Love you for that, man. Hey, yo, great for the raid. Man, let's give a shout out. Bam. Hey, mods, appreciate the clip. I didn't want to do the prototypical streamer shit. I started, again, like I said, my 3 inspirations for early on was Joe, and Joe, right? And then I started incorporating more. I started thinking more. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love storylines. I love gimmicks. I was like, let me create characters. Like, let me start Conor McGregoring Ric Flair in this shit. Let me throw on some Versace shirt for no. I'm wearing short pants under it, but they can't see it. But I'm looking like I'm suited up and dressed and just fresh as fuck. Let me try satin do-rags. Let me be a heel.
Remember do-rag Poppy.
Yeah, satin do-rag Poppy. I started like taking a little bit of Drake style. Let me do this, but it was all for satire. It was all for comical purposes. I started doing, like I said, the whole Ric Flair spiel. I started doing heel shit. I started adding storylines. I started saying like, everybody does raids, and I was like, let's do troll trains. So we would pull up people's streams on my stream, and we would be live and go to, and this is people I know. I'm never attacking nobody I don't know that can't handle the humor. They get me.
Yeah.
Right? So I would never just go out and randomly harass someone. These are people that I have a rapport with.
I know. It's like make streamers stronger. You know, just pull up and be like, yo, hey, you suck.
Just fucking with you, man. Yeah. No, not even that. We wouldn't even say nothing bashing them. We would come in there positive, but we would spam one bit for like 10 minutes. And it would just be the wild. And I'm watching their reaction, and we're watching their reaction on my stream, and they're like, yo, wait, this motherfucker's live right now. And then they pull up my stream, and it's like this weird stream inception. Yeah, stream within a stream within a stream. And that was the stuff I was trying to create. I was trying to just like, let me just do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, man. Let me create characters. Let me have gimmicks. Let me have storylines. Let me take these storylines into Discord. And, you know, if I got to be the villain, if everybody's bashing me, it's for the entertainment of everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was looking at it like that. And like from January to about when I stopped streaming in May, it was just, I felt like I was firing on all cylinders, just like pushing out content. And I was just rocking out. And so to get back to your original question, I would say I would describe my stream as chaotic beauty. Chaotic beauty.
Okay.
I was going to say an event. I feel like it's an event, right? Like there's not that you have this specific formula, but I think it just kind of organically happens. You go live. Usually there's like solid maybe 20, 30 minutes where like it's just conversing with chat. Just talking. And then eventually you'll make it to the game, but it's like it works. It's like I said, I don't know if it's on purpose, but it just feels like it just naturally flows in a certain order. And you know what to expect when you're hopping into your stream. Like you know what it is. Like it's I don't know the best way to put it. It's just like perfect, regimented free flow at the same time. Like it's kind of like you said, like it's just hard to describe it. It's like you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
you're gonna enjoy yourself, and it feels like an event. There's a build up to actually get into the gaming, and once you get there, like it still feels like the beginning of the stream. It's just now there's something else on the screen instead. You know, like you do that very, very well. I
really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate it. Like, cause that's like I had to find myself in streaming. Like I had to find what my purpose in this space was. And I always like I've dealt with so much frustration in streaming because the platform itself is dog shit. The platform itself is dog shit. The culture is dog shit. And I can say these things because I was a part of it. I participated in the culture. I've done, like I said, I've done the point of support for support, follow for follow. You know, making friendships with people, hopefully to get them back in your stream. I've done that shit early on because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you're supposed to behave in Twitch, because that's kind of the mantra of what goes on and how people maneuver. And I had to like take several steps back and look at like, why am I conforming to an ideology I naturally don't align with, and why am I just so caught up and engulfed in this lifestyle that I find utterly fucking repulsive. You know what I mean? So it was, I had to I had to have like an epiphany, like, to understand like like, I'm gonna give you guys a story, and it was like kind of like it was my moment, right? I saw, and I'll never say anybody in particular, right? So I saw a group of talentless hacks, right? Just talentless, like no talent.
Yeah.
Right? Just a talentless hacks, but they have a thing called Twitch Cloud, right? So their group, you know, they structure their Twitch to everybody in the main hierarchy takes care of everybody in the main hierarchy, and they pull people in and kind of exploit them, right? And I saw a smaller group that sadly they met this hierarchy group through me in my stream, and I saw this group interact with them, and the smaller group thought these people were like genuinely supporting them and genuinely being their friends, because it turned into the hierarchy talentless hacks come into their streams, inflating them with views, inflating them with bits, inflating them with rays, inflating them with subs. And this made the smaller group feel like they were making it, they were doing something, they were going somewhere. So they started producing merch, they started increasing their streams, and then the hierarchy group just completely pulled out, left them, and they went back to where they were, and they made all this production of stuff, went nowhere. They started streaming less until they eventually phased out, and it made me see that like the things that people will do just to purge and poach and gain viewers and gain notoriety and validation, that they will step on anyone or gaslight or make people think anything just to fucking reach a goal. And at that point, I was like, I can't be a part of this, like, this culture. Like, I have to, if I'm going to operate in here, I have to do it my way and not conform to what I thought was the normality of shit. So that was the moment for me, and that was like in November of last year, and I was like, this is fucking gross, bro. Like this is not for me, man. So
Yeah, I'll say with me and Brian, and Jordan's not here obviously because he doesn't do podcasts. But yeah, one day he'll be on it. But me, Brian, and Jordan, with the three owners of POS, we've definitely talked a lot and seen a lot of different instances where we realize like this person's not being real. They just want to like fake clout, fake being genuine to us to try to like get our audience or viewers or our community, you know? Like we've had people join the Discord before a while ago, and sometimes this happens currently too. They'll be talking in the Discord a lot. They'll be making friends with people in Discord, and they'll be like, oh, well, you should join my Discord too. Once those people join that Discord, that person leaves. They're out, you know?
Yep.
Like there's people that just like straight poach people from Discord, poach people from people's different communities. And it's a really toxic thing in the streaming community and really in any community. But it happens so often, you know?
You know what's even more sadder than that? It's not seen as doing anything wrong. You know what? Like, and
it's seen as
the way I'm gonna elaborate on that is that like I always, like I said, I'm not the greatest gamer. I can think in a certain way and see things that people won't see. You know what I mean? Like, I had people 2 years ago when I started streaming. Like, there's people that they're bigger than me now or whatever. That's minute as fuck. It doesn't matter, right? But I've had them come to me and say, how do you do this? How did you add GIFs to your alerts? How did you start doing that? Can you help me get people up for this thing, right? And like I said, it's funny how it comes full circle. My boy Dennis taught me to pay it forward. He didn't tell me to do it. It's just that it stuck with me that if somebody's lower than me, I'm gonna pay it forward. I'm never gonna swing down on people. I'm always gonna swing up. You don't swing down, you swing up. You go for higher people than you to attack them about shit. You never attack people lower than you. And I always thought like I need to pay it forward, and I always wanted to help and give whatever advice or guide or do anything I can do to people, right? But I came to realize that I have this creativity, and I don't have the game skills. I have the creativity to think outside the box, because the things I love are all outside the box. I'm a grown-ass adult man that still loves wrestling, right? I love comic books. I love movies. I don't look at movies. I look at movies in an artistic type of way. I look at music and interpret it in a different type of way. I can appreciate the 90s, which music I love, and I can still appreciate the music of today made by a Lil Uzi Vert, because I look at it separately as in this vacuum. I can appreciate that, yes, the music in the 90s is better, but sonically, engineering-wise, the music of today is better. The production, because technology just evolves, it is better. You know what I mean? I'm not saying lyrically or anything like that, but I can separate them and put them into their vacuum and be like, you know what? I can't listen to Nas when I go to the gym. I need to listen to fucking DMX. I need to listen to Waka Flocka. I need to I'm not trying to make love to fucking J. Cole. I love J. Cole. J. Cole's amazing. But I need some, you know what I mean? Like, I need that. I'm a mood music type person, so I can appreciate everything in their space. And what I learned is that people are, their talent and their form of content creating is solely just to make friends. And that's, I don't want to say sad, but you yearn and seek all and do this stuff for validation. You need to be validated by outside people instead of knowing your own self-worth, knowing your own self-value. So when you come to Twitch, it's only exaggerating it, and it's bloviated because you need to go join this community and be cool, and hey, I'm in your streams, why are you not? And then it creates all these type of imposter syndromes and fucking identity crisis. So like I said, I punch up, not down. I don't blame the streamers anymore. I blame solely Twitch. I blame the culture that is created, and it empowers with this bullshit, fake ass black pride put on the front of the cover, but you treat your fucking streamers like shit. You fucking do these LGBT stuff and put it on a front page, but you treat your communities and your streamers, the life, the heartbeat, the soul of your platform like shit. You fucking take 50-50 splits on everything. You do bullshit ad revenues that we only get pennies for, where they making millions and hundreds of $1 millions on these ads. You fucking, they own our likeness. Do you guys know that? They own our likeness. They can take, let's say this podcast, they could take this podcast and put it on the front of their Twitch in a commercial and never pay us nothing. Never give us a dime. They own our likeness. They own our likeness. It is Twitch, Amazon. They're fucking marks, bro. They're the biggest scums and piece of shits in the world, and all they do is bury and bury and bury the content creators, and they create this space where we have to fucking bring in outside entities on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and bring it to them, and they reap the benefits and they shit on us. And it's fucking utterly disgusting. And I don't, like I said, I don't blame the streamers no more. I blame the fucking platform. It empowers this fucking toxic imposter syndrome, depressed, validated, attention-seeking fucking culture. So
I'd like to respond to that if possible. Me personally, how I feel about the whole, like, everything you basically just said. I feel like when we're talking about Twitch has always been notorious for being being a terrible person to like promote your streams, promote anything you're doing. You know, they're not going to promote you. At least if
No.
you're at a smaller or even mid-scale level, you know, you could be having 100 people on your stream. They're still not going to promote you.
No.
You know,
Discoverability is shit here.
yeah, exactly. And like people don't understand how hard that is in the first place. Having 100 people in your stream, like you don't understand how hard it is until you start streaming. It looks like a small number, but it really is a gigantic.
No, it's not.
You know, but when I look at Twitch, at least nowadays, I look at it more as just kind of an empty platform where you just put your content on there, and you gotta do all the work yourself. You know, and I think that's how Twitch is set up these days. You can't expect yourself to be promoted or anything like that. And that may definitely is a little bit of a sucky way that Twitch is set up to be, but that is what it's set up to be. And it's not going to change because there's no one that's going to challenge Twitch. You know, there's Facebook gaming. That's not going anywhere. At least in my opinion, it's not going anywhere. People don't really like it. You know, it's not going anywhere. Twitch is not going to go anywhere. They have the backing of Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world. It's not going anywhere.
But why? Like, I get what you're saying, and I understand exactly your point, especially business and all this other stuff. I get it, right? But how often? There's only a very few small subset of corporations that have things and they don't improve it. Like, you can have these platforms and be like, hey guys, we're introducing this and we're not taking care, but you know, doing this for the people that live in, they make our platform what it is. Twitch takes away. They don't even add. They take away. They say, hey, you know how we said, you know, partners get 70-30? Now you're just like affiliates. You're getting 50-50. I'm sorry. Oh, you know how we had the mandate of ad revenues popping up, they weren't sub to you? Now we're mandating, you know, 4 ads per stream, and we're going to get all that. But you take the 17 cents that comes with it. And, like, I'm not trying to make it about money, but, like, if you're running a corporation, you can't shit on your workers, bro. Like, you can't shit on your workers. Like, they're the people that have your shit. And the thing is that everybody just accepts it.
I think
no, go ahead.
I think what it is, honestly, is that there's this thing, I forgot what the name for it is, but like there's this thing where if someone's in a position of power or a position of influence, you know, let's say like Nick Merckx or Ninja or Aiden, someone like that, they get thousands of viewers each stream, they make money. There's so many kids and so many adults who want that spot, so they can come out and speak about the injustices of Twitch. Oh, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, they're not paying me right, and they can say, screw it, I'm not doing this anymore. But there's an infinite amount of people who's gonna take that person's spot, you know? And that's why, in my opinion, they're not worried about it. They don't care about changing anything about their system because they know that someone's gonna take that spot regardless of whatever they do. You know what I mean?
This is where I disagree with you at, right? I don't think they're worried about the spot. Mark my fucking words. By next year, half of those big guys are gonna be on YouTube. I promise you that. They don't say nothing because, one, they're contractually can't speak out against the platform. They can't speak out against it. They're gonna be on YouTube. Nick Merckx is gonna be on YouTube. I guarantee. Stroud, they're gonna be on YouTube. YouTube is gonna drop them the bag, and they're going over there with their buddies. I promise you that. They're just waiting out. When people go silent, that means they're usually up to something. And they've been very silent. Like they just do their streams, they check in, they clock out, clock in, clock out, like a worker at a factory right now. You don't see Nick Merckx and all them doing their entire social media fucking, you know, marketing and tirade that they used to do. Like, they're gonna punch out. And then, like, yes, people are gonna step up for Twitch, but the problem is that that's what's keeping people around waiting. Like, I'll be that next up. But they're not looking at what they're walking into. Like, you're walking into a company and you're going to be legally tied to them, even though affiliates already have some legality tied to them. You're going to be even more tied to a company that blatantly shows that they don't care about the creators. And I'm not saying YouTube cares more about the creators, because most of these fucking $1 trillion corporations really don't care. But Twitch is just the most blatant, like, forward speaking, like, yo, we're just gonna fuck you over at every turn, and you guys are gonna do it because you're scared to believe in yourself, and you're scared to take a leap of faith and go do something else. So it's disgusting, man. It's absolutely disgusting.
I will say I can see a lot of the streamers going to YouTube because YouTube, in my opinion, although it's not the best, it has a great promotional machine. Like anybody with 0 subscribers, you can get to 100,000. You can get to 1 million. Like for example, on my personal channel, I started out with 0 subscribers. Like I had like 3 subscribers, but those 3 subscribers was myself, Brian, and Jordan. You know, like no one else. But then I got right now, I think I'm at like 160, something like that, within a year. You know, and that's off of 0. That number's nothing. You know, Twitch. If you have 0 followers, you got 0 followers. Like it's not going up no matter how hard you try. You may have that one random person, because I do this myself sometimes. Like you put your game category on low to high for the viewership, and I'll go through like the low people and like stopping their streams with, oh, what's good, bro? Like how you doing? Blah blah blah. You know, you may have people like that, but eventually you keep doing what you're doing. Those people aren't going to add up to anything in your streaming career. With Twitch, you really just got to market yourself on TikTok, Twitter, and other social media platforms to actually do anything. I think YouTube, like you said, YouTube is great with promotion. You know, you can make regular.
They have
videos.
An algorithm. They actually,
exactly.
Which Twitch doesn't. Like they actually have an algorithm, like TikTok. Like the fact that you have to go out of, and like I said, it's not Twitch saying like you need to do the work. Twitch is exploiting us to go grab people from other platforms to bring them to Twitch so they can sub and watch ads so Twitch can reap the benefits. We're doing all the marketing for Twitch where they don't pay us. like
I love way to put it.
Like we're doing literally all the they're like, hey, you know, if you want to blow up on here, go grab these guys from over there and bring them here. And then once those people come ingratiated into the Twitch culture, hey, let me sub, Twitch takes half of it. Let me watch these ads. Oh, Twitch is getting hundreds of millions because they can go to Coca-Cola and be like, hey, we had 200 million people watch these ads. Give us more money. And then what do? They give us 5 cents on the second. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like,
you know what
it's
ridiculous. I think the biggest competitor for Twitch right now isn't even YouTube. I think it's TikTok. Because if you look at TikTok, I'll be scrolling through TikTok and I'll see like a random person streaming. Man got like 2,000 views. And people don't realize how big that is because 2,000 views on Twitch is a lot. 2,000 views on TikTok is kind of regular when you're live streaming, you know?
Yeah.
And these are regular people because Twitch just puts you on their page. That's what the FYP page is. The algorithm is the best algorithm there is in any social media platform. You guys may not agree, but in my opinion, it is. You know?
No, I agree.
The promotion is crazy. You put one hashtag, you're always reached out. Your video will always go out to the people who associate their content with that hashtag. You know?
Yeah.
So I think
you might be on to something.
You know what I mean?
TikTok might be the move. I go do video games on TikTok.
But for real, because if you see a lot of people streaming on TikTok, even Ninja streams on TikTok now. Like not exclusively, obviously, but like in conjunction with his other streams. TikTok. So
wait, do you mean like they do the I'm streaming on YouTube playing my video game on my shit here, and then a phone watching them while they stream just to alert people? Like what do you? Because I saw a lot of people do that. That's what like
I've seen that.
I saw a lot of that like early days of not when quote unquote early days on TikTok, but like a year ago. You know?
Okay, gotcha.
Nowadays, what they'll do, like they'll have the face cam at the top of the screen and the gameplay at the bottom. Like I've seen this one guy come up on my page 10 different times. I never watched his stream. I never liked his video, but he keeps coming on my page. It's annoying me. I'm not gonna lie, but he's an Apex mobile streamer. I low-key should, but he's an Apex mobile streamer, and he has his camera at the top and his mobile gameplay at the bottom. Man gets 2,000 views every stream. And you get paid off of TikTok too, I believe.
You do.
I think
you do.
Yeah.
They have a subscription, I believe, too, as well. Like,
wow. Something I didn't know.
You gotta write this down in my notes. TikTok might be the way to go. You're on something.
That's why everybody wants to get rid of TikTok, because TikTok honestly is doing the best job at promoting content creators, in my opinion.
You're right.
You know, they're doing the best job.
And I know, like, I'm not on there, but like I know it's got the algorithm where like you see one video and it engages a certain audience, but I see it secondhand because like I work with kids that are like 24, 25 years old. Yeah. And like these dudes would be quiet. And you're like, yo, I haven't heard from Eric in like 30 minutes. Where they're like, and they are good at like feeding you content to keep you engaged. Yeah. And if they can do that with dog videos, like them silly dances and all that, they can do it with gaming. They can absolutely do it with gaming.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that have gotten where they are now, like in the last year, that you've seen kind of like accelerate through Twitch, is this through TikTok. Like they're killing it on TikTok, and they're using TikTok to pull in people to Twitch. But imagine if they go, all right, guys, we're only doing TikTok, and you can watch me anywhere. And like the comment section is going to be good. The mobile app's going to be good because it's almost exclusively mobile. I mean, they could be a problem. Like they could be a problem
for sure. And I was going to say,
think about that.
I was going to say, me, I do like the POS content for like TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. So I'll post shorts. When I'm posting a short on TikTok versus YouTube, on YouTube, I'll put like 20 hashtags, like gaming. If it's an Overwatch gameplay, Overwatch 2, Lucio, Mercy. I'll put a bunch of tags.
Or in them hashtags.
Oh, but you gotta, because if you put one tag, your video is not being seen.
On and TikTok, your title got to be correct and in line with it, and the thumbnail. Yeah.
On TikTok is the exact opposite. If you hashtag fill your content, your content's not going to be seen, or it's going to be seen maybe by 100 people, but it's not going to be liked at all, and it's going to like just cause the content to go down the drain. And you know why? That's because TikTok's so good at putting your content towards whatever you're trying to direct it to. So if you do hashtag gaming, hashtag Overwatch, hashtag Mercy, it will legit put the video in hashtag gaming, which is millions of gamers, people that play Call of Duty, RPG, this and that, and people who possibly might not want to see whatever game you're playing, you know? Mm-hmm. And if you do like Mercy, it could bring up like a character from a TV show or something like that that's more popular from the character than the game, you know, and it may mess up your whole thing you got going on. On TikTok, I'll just put hashtag Overwatch and then hashtag FYP. I'm done. Because I know that it will go to only the Overwatch people, and that's the people that want to watch it. That's the people that want to digest that content, and that's the people that, most importantly, will like the content and will keep the content going. You know, that's why I favor the TikTok algorithm.
The dark horse in the equation that, like, if they got like monetary backing, Hover. You remember when I was like hot on Hover? Like I was all about Hover. I was all about it, man. And I took a break from it because, like, you have to kind of, like, always be on there. Like, their way of kind of pushing your content is you have to be engaging other people's content. So it's kind of like, hey, give an hour of energy and this video is going to get, like, 10,000 views. It's not a terrible business model. It works for them. But, like, it's almost all mobile. Like, it's basically TikTok, but, like, just for gaming. If they had, like, somebody... I don't know who an Amazon competitor would be, but if they had somebody else that was like, hey, we're going to ramp this up. Yeah.
Google.
They own everything. Google knows everything about me.
Exactly.
If Google backed Hover and was like, yo, we're live streaming now. Okay. The desktop app is going to be better because they're so grassroots right now that if the right company got behind them, they can make it what they want to make it. And we may not have a Twitch anymore. Like it could be the next big thing if TikTok doesn't get there first. Like somebody needs to do something with Hover because right now, whoever the 10 people are that are doing it, that are running it, like they're doing good for what they are. But like it's definitely a great formula that could be 1,000 leagues better if somebody puts some money into it. Like,
and that's so great that you said that. Like this is you literally just shot all these shit. Like my brain is circuits is going all over, right? Like. Exactly what you said. I don't even know if you realize you said it. Twitch is being unchecked because they have no competition.
Yeah.
They're allowed to shit on us. Look at what PlayStation 4 did to the Xbox One. Xbox One was not in any competition with PS4. PS4 ran away, and that caused PlayStation to just fucking, now they can up their prices.
Yeah.
They can make $70 games because they were like, oh, Xbox not going to do nothing.
We just take it.
We unchecked. But now that Xbox is actually competing, they're trying to buy Activision. Microsoft is finally backing them in the gaming space. Now PlayStation is going to have to like change their practices where they can't exploit the consumers. You know what I mean? And that's what Twitch is doing. Same thing with WWE. WWE product was so bad for 10 years because they had no competition. They had no WCW. And nobody was watching that. Yeah, nobody was really watching that. Once Kurt Angle stopped being Perk Angle, nobody was watching TNA, bro. So they were being unchecked for 10 years, like no competition. And now AEW exists. So now WWE is a better product now. And that's the same thing with Twitch. Twitch is unchecked and they don't have a real competitor. So now they can be like, yo, 70-30 splits with partners. Let's make it 50-50. You guys don't care, right? Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want because there is no competition opposing them. And Twitch needs a viable, legit competitor. And as much as I love YouTube, I don't think YouTube is that person.
Right.
Well, Google to be exact, because Google gives up on everything. Google will start something and give up on it.
How many? 100% right.
How many phone Stadia? Like they literally just gave up like 3 weeks ago.
It was like a console, right? Like that was supposed to be hot, and then they just gave up on it. Google Glasses, they gave up on it. Google Plus, they gave up on it. You got a lot of valid
They
points.
usually give up. They gave up on their phones for the most part. Like Google Stadia. No. Their phones were good. It's just that they didn't see the revenue they wanted to see, and they was like, "Okay, shut the shit down. We're done."
They did just come up with the Pixel though, like a week ago. The new
the 7. Yeah. We'll see though, man. The thing is they're trying to play catch up. Like the thing is the things that people care about for phones, like aren't the things that Google's giving them. Like for somebody like me, it's all practicality. Like this phone, it runs my life, right? Like it makes everything easy. I don't have to think. But people don't care about that. It's what's that camera do so then it can take a picture of myself so that I can put it on Instagram. Like the things that people care about, Google is giving us in the phone. But like you said, they're not seeing the results they want. So they're just like, we'll dial this back a little bit. You know, they're pulling back on what's great in my opinion, you know?
No, it's 100% because it's just the trend. Like I've had girls, like I had a Galaxy phone at one point, right? And this chick I was messing with, she was like, why is your text green? And I was like, oh, I have a Galaxy. She was like, I don't fuck with people if they don't have a blue.
No, stop playing. No.
I swear, bro, I instantly got an iPhone.
She made you switch?
Yo, I switched. I started even coming up with excuses. I'm like, yeah, I'll be able to FaceTime my daughter, so it'll be easier if I do that. Like, Apple Music is pretty good. Yo,
the man tried to validate it and make it seem like it wasn't what it was, you know?
Oh, bro, man. That's the wildest thing I've heard all week.
That man switched phones for the chick, bro. That's crazy.
I got an iPhone so quick. It wasn't even funny.
I didn't even know that our text showed up as green until last week, bro. Yeah. Like someone said something to me like, "Oh yeah, you guys are the ones with the green text message." I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "Oh yeah, when you text us on iPhone, like it shows up green." I was like, "What?" I was like, "That's raggedy. Why does it do that to us, bro? Text message is the text message."
I tell everyone
it's like gang signs, bro. They're just like, "Oh yeah." Part of the Android.
I tell everyone though, like
exactly.
All the problems that people have with Android and Apple, like together, like in like text message conversation, green text and stuff like that, photos being blurry, is literally all because of Apple. It's all because of Apple, bro. The images that Apple have are a different like type of file than all Android phones that use like the normal files that computers use. Apple has everything. It's all bougie at Apple. They want to make everything.
Don't they use like a raw file size? Like you use that's like a DSLR camera like file size. Like whenever we get Antonio on here, you can probably explain it, but like that's not. People don't use that unless if they're editing.
Everything about the phone is exclusive to Apple, bro. Everything, you know, and that's what messes
what you're supposed to do.
Nah. But the way they do it just doesn't integrate well with the other phones in the market.
Well, they don't want to.
That's exactly. I know. But that's what.
Mind you, Josh says this as a Twitch streamer. Twitch does the same thing. They segregate themselves. They isolate themselves. You can only use they do the same thing. Yeah. That's how Facebook started. Remember, Brian? Remember?
Invite only.
You couldn't be on Facebook unless you were like a college student, and it was like an invite only. It was a insolent because that's how you're supposed to do. This is a gem for anybody listening. If you ever want to make it in corporate, everything is applicable to everything. If you ever want to make it in corporate, content creating, anything, you niche down first and then you spread out. You niche down and you stick with this one niche. So what Facebook did was invite only college students. We don't want you teenagers. You make people feel isolated, and then they have the yearning to be a part.
Yeah.
And then when you open the doors, they'll rush through it. Twitch, same thing. Facebook, same thing. Like, that's what you do. So if anybody's in the content creating space, find something you love, like wrestling, you know, make wrestling content, play wrestling video games. You can talk and do all the stuff wrestling with people, have these conversations, and you niche down. If you want to start a corporation, niche down. Find something you want to do, create, make, find a specific topic, niche down on that, and then once you blow up, you venture. That's what every big streamer has ever done in the history of streaming.
Yeah.
Ninja, Nick Merckx, they all started on one game or in one style and played one thing for about 20 years, and now look at the millionaires. Fucking Nick Merckx is making $600,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you do.
Man could buy a new Lambo every month if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Every month. So that's a little nugget of gym for anybody that will watch the video.
I did want to bring up a point. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. You can.
No. I was gonna say, like, that's all. I mean, it's the same with YouTube. Like, all our favorite YouTubers started doing one thing, and then they got a bonus channel for the people that want to see more of them. But like, they just keep bringing in and wrangling in people with that same one thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I think also now I got two things to say.
Let's go. Okay.
First thing, I'll address Brian's things first. What Brian just said about like separate channels, variety channels. I think that's why with POS, like with the YouTube channel, we started out with a variety. Like we have podcasts, we have like gaming remixes to songs. They're funny, but they're kind of fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We be spitting. And then we have like gameplay type stuff. And like for me, the reason that I wanted to do that for POS is that I wanted people to come in expecting like all that type of content from us. You know what I mean? I don't want them just expecting one thing. Like if we just only posted podcasts, we would become the podcast show. You know, so if we posted a gaming video in a week, people would be like, "Oh, why are they posting that? That's weird." Or if we posted like a music remix thing in a week, people would be like, "Why are they posting that? That's weird." With our channel, I like our channel to have a gaming focus, but have a variety in the type of content we make that relates to gaming. You know, because our podcasts are always about gaming streamers or Twitch streamers or music or quote unquote music. It's about like gaming and like playing Call of Duty type stuff. Our gameplay is obviously about gaming. It all has that gaming focus, but it's still a little bit spread out, so it's not just targeting only one thing, you know?
Yeah.
Different avenues. This is where, and like I said, you can tell me to kick rocks, to like fuck off, dude. Right? But this is where I give pushback on that, because you got to look at something like YouTube, and it's very algorithm based, and YouTube has a great algorithm, right? But if YouTube can't specify what the fuck you are doing, they don't know how to put it. The computer doesn't know how to push you. So the same way, look at people who are successful in different lanes and just like not take, but just watch. The strategy is all the same. I understand, like, and this is even for me speaking to myself when I start pushing content back out, you know, because I'm a variety person. My brain goes all over the place. I want to do so many things and multiple things. I don't want to be bogged down. But all it is 2 minutes extra of your life. You can make a POS podcast channel, and then you can make a POS gaming channel. And the same upload that you would have put on that one channel, separate it. Because instead of throwing shit at the wall from one direction, you're throwing shit at the wall from multiple avenues. So one of these can pop off, and then you can just redirect them to other avenues that you have. So I get, like I said, you can tell me to fuck off, kick rocks, whatever. But like, I get that you would want to put the variety on one channel, but you got to look at it as YouTube doesn't know it doesn't know how to have the algorithm pick it up, because it could be like, yo, we're talking about Overwatch for the next 4 videos. Oh, and then this is a rap video, and then this is a gaming video, and then this is a podcast. If you separate each content to its own specific channel, it gives you multiple avenues of approach, revenue, and algorithm base specifically for that. So
what I will
it's just
say
something to
that,
consider.
Yeah.
But I will say to that,
that's a good
which is my counter to what you just said.
Yeah.
So when it comes to YouTube and like the algorithm and that type of stuff, for me personally, how I feel like with the algorithm on YouTube, I feel like it's more video based. Like for example, we have a couple. We have like one video that's almost at 1,000 views, and it was talking about this like hot topic with a popular YouTuber named Gideon, and that was a reaction video. And then we have another video that has like 600 views. That was another reaction type video. I feel like the way YouTube does things is that if you classify your channel as a gaming channel, it will be classified as a gaming channel, of course.
Yeah.
Like same thing with like podcast channel and stuff like that. But if you don't classify your channel as one of those like specific niches, your channel will just be classified as like your channel. And like that may not sound like it makes sense at first, but let me explain. So for example, let's talk about like FaZe Rug or AMP. I'll start with FaZe Rug. FaZe Rug used to be like a gaming streamer. He used to be gaming content like Call of Duty, trick shots, FaZe, and stuff like that. Nowadays, his content is none of that. But his content isn't stuff that you can really predict. Like one day, maybe it'll be like Mr. Beast type stuff. Like, oh, I spent like 60 days in a prison or something like that. Then the next day, he'll be like, oh, I brought a Ferrari. I brought this. That's not stuff you can really classify, but it's stuff that FaZe Rug fans would like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you search a FaZe, when you search a FaZe Rug, or when like YouTube sees like, oh, it's FaZe Rug posting, they know what FaZe Rug fans like. You know, they know that, oh, this is something that FaZe Rug fans would watch, so they recommend it to that. You know what I mean? I want a channel to be more like that. Like AMP is another example. I don't know if you heard of AMP before.
Yeah.
AMP is basically a group of streamers and content creators. They're more, I wouldn't say gamers, but they're just like IRL streamers. They talk on stream and like react to videos and stuff like that. When you go to AMP, their channel is very diverse, right? One video would be like, oh, we spent 30 minutes silently in a library trying to be silent. Another video would be like, we had a race. And another video would be like, we had people fight for us. You know, it'll all be diverse. Not for real. No, those are all the like legit titles they had. It's not the exact titles, but it'll all be different type of content. But what connects all that content is AMP. It's the individuals that do that content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when the brand and not so much like the specific content.
Exactly.
I 100% get that, but like you have to look at where they came from versus where they are now. You know what I mean? So like in the sense where there's a difference between the standard and an anomaly. You have people that are anomalies that just something they did just fucking blew up and then it's just a continued run.
Yeah.
But anybody that has made any RDC, right? RDC World.
Yeah,
am I saying that right? Yeah,
yeah,
RDC World.
Yeah.
They started out doing comedy, just blasting it everywhere. And now they can do whatever the fuck they want because they have the attention on them. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. They could be like, RDC farts, post a video. And it's going to get millions of views because they already have the eyes and attention on them. And YouTube is going to promote that because I'm like, yo, we know we can keep getting millions of people because then they receive ad revenue because they also gain something from it as well. So it behooves them to push people that you know have a consistent fan base and millions of views. So let's just algorithm anyways without even having them tied to gaming or anything like that. And if you ask any of the Mr. Beast, any of them, like any of their videos, they always say, you have to niche down. And then once you gain the attention of people, once you have this consistent flow and you're in the algorithm, you're undeniably in it, that's when you can spread out and do whatever the fuck you want. And it sucks that that's the game you have to play to make it in content creation, that you have to, even if you're tired of being in a topic. And that's why I said multiple channels, because it won't feel so bogged down. So you could be like, yo, this is Overwatch. Let me log out. Bam. This is the podcast. Upload that. The same thing you would have uploaded to one channel. Be like, okay, now I'm in the podcast channel. Upload that. Let me add some shorts with it that's tied to our podcast conversation. Bam, log out. Let me go to Overwatch. Bam, video, put some shorts, log out. And it's the same thing you would have done, but it's just separated. And then you can kind of see the trends, be like, oh, the Overwatch page is taking off. You know, let's kind of devote a little bit more attention to that. and, you know, add more shorts to it maybe. And then you can kind of get a better analytical standpoint of having things separate than to have everything all bogged down in one area. Again, like I said, it's just my observation on things. And I've done a lot of studying and a lot of research into algorithm and YouTube and how these things work. And I need to listen to my own advice. So it's not just you guys, I'm talking to me as well. You know what I mean? Like, I need to listen to my own advice because I like you guys. I like to, whatever I'm feeling, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be tied down to any specific thing. But at some point, me, everybody, anybody listening, we got to play the game if you want to be successful in this space.
Yeah, no.
I can completely see that because I know there's times that, like, I don't want to say vent about it, but like I'll bring it to like Josh and Jordan. I'm like, man, I'll post. I think there was like a streak. I had a crazy streak with shorts where none of them were under 100. It was all hundreds and hundreds or a couple thousands. And then the moment I started doing like Road Company, trying to mix it in, I was already typecasted. Like they would not promote my content. They would not. And I took a break and tried to see if I could rework it. And nope, I'm typecasted as Call of Duty content creator. And I have to play to it.
I'll give you an example because I did experiments on my TikTok and I was like, oh, let me experiment. And I did Halo, right? And I love Halo. So it wasn't like I was doing something for publicity. It's just I legit loved Halo Infinite and I was posting stuff. And I was hitting nice little viewerships and stuff like that. And then I got out of it and stopped doing that. And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling the wrestling shit right now. And I started posting wrestling videos and clips on my TikTok and they just started getting really good fucking numbers, right? And it comes back to, so my IG, I don't know if you guys follow it. My IG is my second IG. I have a personal one and this one. Originally, this IG I have, my gaming IG, was my DC fan page IG. And trust me, like when you get picked up in the algorithm, it took me 4 to 6 months to get picked up in the it took me 4 months to get picked up in the IG algorithm. I was just constantly every day, and I was in Afghanistan. I would get off of work. I would do about 2 or 3 posts about like, you know, interactive, like who do you think should be casted for Just League versus whatever? Or who do you think should be casted for Batman versus Superman? Who do you think should be casted for? I think this person will make a great Batgirl, and I would have a poster of that picture of the actress and then the Batgirl pick. Yeah. And I was posting that stuff, and then one day, bro, like on IG, my shit hit, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is it, guys. Mind you, I'm talking to myself because it was only me running the page. I was like, this is it, guys. All the voices in my head, I'm like, we're there, guys. We got this. Yeah. And it was like 600 likes. I'm like, okay. And then it was like 1,000 likes. Like next post, 1,500. And then it was like next post, 4,000. And the next post, 7,000. And then everything I was posting, that anything I was saying about DC, I was like, yo, I just think this picture's fucking amazing. And I would high res the picture, add a little contrast, add a little sharpening. Bam, 7,000. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking picked up, bro. And then I stopped posting for like a week. Man, that shit, they dropped me. They dropped me from the algorithm, bro. And then I turned it into my video game page. But yeah, man, and I learned, that's what made me learn. I was like, as sucky as it is, you have to stay in that lane if you want to get picked up by it. And I was only posting DC content. And I love comic books. I love Marvel. I love Valorant. What's the fucking Dark Horse? I love all the fucking comic book companies. But I was only posting DC, and it was only, and I niched it even more down, which was just DC movies. I wasn't talking about DC comics, DC video games, just DC movies. And I got picked up in the algorithm, and it was it was like every post I was doing was like fucking 7,000, 6,000, 4,000. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't fucking lose. Great comments. It was no bot shit. It was just people interacting. They was loving it. And I was like, holy fuck, this is what it's like to get picked up in the algorithm. And so as sucky as it, long story less longer, as sucky it is, it like, because most people who create have different ideas and different things, but in order to get where you want to be in this content space, you have to an extent, like play the game that they put in place.
I will say, what I previously said, I think I agree with you to a certain extent, right?
Josh, you back talking to me? You've been real. You've been real. I agree with what you said, but you back on me, boy. What the hell's going on?
This is well, I think the way that Josh thinks like is what keeps like me in check and vice versa. Like, like we both have that ability of like, okay, that's valid. That's valid. I'll acknowledge anything that's valid. And then if I disagree, I'm like, but how about? And he's the same way. Like,
however,
what I would say,
one more thing.
I agree with you to a certain extent. Like, you do definitely gotta have a niche, right? Yeah. Like, you can't be making cupcake videos and then be making a tech video the next video. Like, that makes
you gotta sell toes.
Nah, stop. I'm trying to have a serious conversation over here. This man's talking about toes. But what I'm saying is, with POS, maybe I didn't describe it the best, but I say our niche is gaming. Like, we just focus on gaming as, in a sense. Like, we don't niche down to a specific game, which I think that's what you're trying to say. Like, you need to niche down farther. You need to niche down to, like, a certain game or a certain topic, and you need to just stick with it. But I think that once you do niche down to that, like, extremely small topic, and you get known for that extremely small topic, it is crazy hard. And sometimes people can't even do it to change from that. Once you get known as the Overwatch streamer, you can't change yourself. You know, people will not watch it. Like, Ninja is known as a Fortnite streamer. When he tries to switch games, people hated him. You know,
you're absolutely right. But you got to look at it as people like Joe Rogan, Joe Buttons, right? Joe Buttons copies. He low key. Like, I be seeing, he low-key copies off of Joe Budden. Joe Budden copies off of Joe Rogan strategies. Joe Rogan started the whole, this is the Joe Rogan podcast channel. This is JRE Clips. And you differentiate and separate, because people who want to see your full podcast will come to the full podcast, but they might also go to the clips. But the people who go to the clips, necessarily, that the people, because you got to remember, YouTube is very specific. People who go to YouTube, they type in, how do I make this using this DIY? You know what I mean? They're very specific. And then if they go to your thing and be like, oh, wow, they're talking about this on a podcast. Cool. They're talking about Twitch. And then it could be like Overwatch thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not. Because YouTube, you got to remember, YouTube people are very, very specific. They want what they want. They're typing in exactly verbatim what they want for the most part. So it wasn't niche down, but I was just saying like separate, because you can still do everything. But I would say if you separate channel wise, that'll give you more flexibility, because you can look at the data pertaining to each channel. You can look at you can receive multiple revenue from each channel. You can do what you want on each channel. You can have like, yo, Josh, Brian, y'all run this. Hey, other POS members, y'all take care of this channel if that's what you guys want to do at this moment. Hey, y'all can run, like, it gives you a lot more flexibility instead of collaging everything into one point, where YouTube is telling you, they're like, we don't know what specifically this channel is for, and we don't know who to push it to. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can push you sometimes to people, but for the most part, the algorithm is just like, I don't know where to push this. like, because it's not a person on the other end of it. It's a computer software that's like, okay, he posted 3 Overwatches, and then, all right, now he's doing a baking stream. Now he's dressing up as a clown, doing his sturdy in a baseball game. I don't know where does this go? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the algorithm is very specific.
I would say, because I spend a lot of time like watching videos specifically about the algorithm, especially for my personal channel, because that channel is about like anime and like manga type stuff. And I was like, yo, like, I want to get. I mean, I don't need more views, but it's nice to get like recognition for the content you put work into. Of course, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, how do I get that? How do I get people to actually click? Like, what do I need to do? And I feel like with YouTube, that's why I like YouTube a lot, because I feel like it really is on a video basis. Like, if you want a video to get out to a certain space, you can put it out in that space. Yeah. You gotta add certain tags. You gotta add a certain title. You gotta add a certain thumbnail. And the great thing about YouTube is that there's always previous videos to show you what works. You're never the first person to make a video about anything. I guarantee you. I guarantee there was like 100 other creators that did it before, and you can always tell what works the best, because whatever's in like multiple people's thumbnails or multiple people's titles, that's what you need to use too, because that's what works. You know what I mean? And I feel like with YouTube, it really is more of a video by video basis, but also at the same time, I don't think niching yourself to a specific thing is the best thing, and not in the sense of like just going for any type of audience, not in that sense. But like if you're going for all of anime fans, cool, but they know that your content is anime type content. If you're going for all the gaming fans, cool, but they know that your content is gaming type content. Because for example, on like I said on my second channel, mostly anime manga content, but it's not a bunch of videos about one type of series, one type of anime. It's literally a bunch of different types of anime, but they get good views, they get good likes, like gaining subscribers, because YouTube knows this is an anime channel. You know, anime review, anime recommendations, whatever they want to call it, but this is an anime channel. I feel like when YouTube looks at our channel, they know we're a gaming channel, regardless of like the type of content we try to make or how it differentiates. There's always a gaming focus, and therefore they know it's a gaming channel. If you know what I mean. I'm not disagreeing with you, because I definitely agree with you.
No.
I got you. I'm not trying to disagree with you or fight with your point, but I'm saying when people look at POS, when the YouTube looks at POS, they look at the gaming channel.
Yeah.
That's my final thing about it.
However.
Oh man, I don't know how we got talking about POS, but
that's great, man.
It was
good. You guys get to showcase what you guys are doing, planning, you know, the way you guys want to go. And like you said, I 100% agree. Like I love YouTube because it's content. Like it's not who you know. It's not who you try to become friends with. Is how good is your content, how good you convey a message. Your camera might be shitty and your audio might not be the best, but you can still get a good piece of content out because you articulate it well, or you explained it better than anybody else has ever explained it. Where, like I said, versus Twitch, it's you know, a bunch of cock eating and you know, dick riding for the most part. Okay. So that's why it's like I appreciate that, like, and that's kind of like where I'm at with Twitch. I kind of want to move to YouTube, but I also have to acknowledge and respect that the people that I do have that support me are on Twitch. So I'm trying to figure out and navigate, like, how do I want to, like, I've thought about doing Twitch and just unaffiliating myself, like request to be unaffiliated. Because I don't want to do subs and I don't want Twitch to get any money off of it. And then if anybody want to support, maybe have a donation thing. If not, then whatever. It's perfectly cool. But I'm still trying to figure out and navigate how I'm gonna combine the two, or you know, figure out where I want to go with streaming next, because I do love streaming. I do miss it. But I definitely had to step away.
Yeah,
I completely get that. I mean, I did the same thing. I took like a nice little long break, and I need to get back in the rhythm again because I'm now like in a little bit of a hiatus. But what I like to do in the meantime while I'm away is I'm posting the content, like the shorts on YouTube, because you can slowly integrate into YouTube. Not saying that that's what I'm doing, but like right now, like no joke, the Twitch is just there for me to create content for YouTube. You know, like I feel like there's something wrong about capturing those live moments. Where if I sit and record a gameplay, it's just not the same. But if I'm live streaming, like you got an audience, people are watching, you know, something happens, the reaction is going to be more organic and not forced. So it shows up in the shorts. It's like you're getting me like the same way you would get me in stream, but it's edited, it's clipped, but it's still just as raw. It's just, you know, I'm not sitting in a room with nobody listening to me, nobody hearing me, and then just like my camera going like, oh, did I get that? Where like I know with the stream, it's captured. There's people interacting. Like it's so that's what I mainly do. Like even when I'm not live on Twitch, like it's feeding the YouTube, and if I want to make that switch to YouTube, I've already got my own audience that I built from YouTube and not from Twitch. So I would say definitely at least do it because like I know that you'll do well over there. Whenever you decide to do it, you're gonna be good.
That's what I'm thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Like I legit do. Like it's so weird. Like so the last time I streamed was in like May. Like,
it's been a real long time though.
And yeah, like May, and it wasn't like a fatigue thing, right? I feel like I was looking for an excuse. Like my workload did increase. Like I wake up about 5:50 in the morning, and it takes me like, since school has started back, summertime it was a breeze, but since school started back, it takes me about a 2-hour drive to get to work, and then I work for 8 hours, and then I 2 hours drive back home. So you're looking at about a 13-hour day.
Yeah.
Where I'm just gassed and tired, where I can't stream, right? But I also feel like I was using that proxy as an excuse. I was saying on my streams, like I'm checking out, and it wasn't like being burnt out. It was like part of what I said earlier about seeing and just like identifying what Twitch culture is, and then like seeing people like not like, I don't want to make it braggadocious, but it's like having people, like I have very few pet peeves, right?
Yeah.
And like to see people like come to my streams or like just blatantly like steal ideas and rip off things, and which is okay in a sense, but then it causes
out of here.
His little dog's in there.
But then it causes my brain to
look at him be chilling. Give him a nugget.
It causes my brain to think like, why can't people be creative? What's preventing them from being creative? Like, why are they not trying to embrace what's uniquely amazing about themselves? And that like that, just the type of things that my brain wrap around. And like I always identified and knew like Tupac once said a great quote, and he said that, you know, I'm not going to be the person who changes the world, but I'll at least be the spark of the idea for the person who changes the world. And I feel like I always want to, and that's the same thing. And it's funny how, again, things come full circle. You pay it forward, you find things better than how it was left, right? And that's an ideology in the army. That's an ideology in the military. That's how we're supposed to make the conditions better for the people who are replacing us. And that's how I feel about Twitch. Like I want to create a space. I want to create a space where it's not. All right, so I'm working on clothing right now, right? Okay. I'm working on creating my clothing. I have a company. I have an LLC. I'm gonna change the name soon. I'm not gonna say that name because it's not trademarked yet. I don't want somebody watching to take that name.
Yeah.
I have a whole. I'm talking with manufacturers. I'm getting the money up. That's what I've been doing. Like I've been working. Any bonuses, any extra money I've been doing is going back into this. I had a soft launch 4 years ago that failed miserably, but it was good that it failed because like I learned from it and I know now what to look for and what to do and how I want to present it. And I'm kind of doing a dual rebranding. I want to push my clothes. I want to get back into streaming, and I want it to be all simultaneous in the synchronicity of it all, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's delaying the process. But
you know what's crazy?
What's up?
I'm not. I promise you, like I'm being 100% legit. I'm doing the same exact thing. Same exact
really?
thing. Yeah. Same exact thing. Yeah.
As you were talking, I was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah, because I love fashion, man. I love fashion
too. Yeah.
And like my goal, I find it insane, like utterly insane that I have to venture out and I have to go outsource and find a web designer. I find it insane that I have to venture out and go find a photographer and outsource and pay somebody that I don't know or give a fuck about, or somebody from marketing. I just find that utterly ridiculous. And I want to create a space, and I just want to pull creative people together, and not just it be based on some power friendship shit. And that'll come with the working together and getting to know each other, the friendship, the rapport, that'll come with it. But the fact that I have to go give money to people that I don't know or have no rapport with, or I don't know what they're capable of or doing, I find that utterly ridiculous. So I'm trying to revamp my Discord. I'm trying to revamp my socials. I'm trying to just rebrand and fix everything and create a space for creative people to embrace their unique greatness and not be some trend, not be the power friend. I hate Twitch.
Not the
so
power
much.
friendship.
I hate Twitch so much. I hate Twitch so much, bro, because it's just ridiculous that, like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just not cut for this. I'm not cut for Twitch. Like, I told my audience, like, in February, I was like, I'll never make it on Twitch. I'll never make it on Twitch because I can't do a lot of conforming shit. Like, if I consider somebody a friend, I should be able to tell you, like, yo, this is fucking garbage. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like, what you, and I feel the same way. Like, if you be like, yo, Ray, that's garbage. And I'd be like, all right, you might be right. I'm still probably going to push it, but I will consider it and appreciate what you're saying. But I feel like if I consider you a friend, but Twitch is just so like, oh, you're doing
great.
So
Keep
good.
going.
You're
Keep going.
It's inorganic.
You're so good. Oh my God.
Bro, I see it all the
and it's
time.
garbage. Yeah, and it's
all the
garbage.
time.
And the person who's making this garbage don't know they're doing garbage.
Yeah.
So they're
a false
continuing
confidence.
with their garbage.
Yeah.
And it's just an enabling, coddling, just settling for mediocrity. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I want to be around people that don't want to settle for mediocrity. Push each other, create shit. Be fucking uniquely you. Don't strive to be like nobody else. Strive to be the best you, and let's collab and create and be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that's my dream.
You know what annoys me that I see a lot recently on Twitter mainly. It's always on Twitter. Twitter has the wildest stuff. But I'll see someone tweet out something that's like so stupid, at least to me. Such a stupid statement. Like, they'll be encouraging such a bad behavior, and they'll be like, nah, but it's okay. Don't worry. You do you. I'm like, yo, people don't understand. Like, just because someone's saying it's okay doesn't mean it's okay. And it'll have like 100,000 likes. I'm like, bro, this is such a stupid statement, but you guys are pushing it, and you guys are liking it because you know you do it yourself, and you want somebody to validate your bad habit or your bad thing that you're doing. And I hate seeing that, and I see it all the time on Twitter. Like, people just need to start being honest with people. Like me, like you were saying with the clothing, I had a sample made a while ago, and I was so scared to show my friends because I'm like, yo, if I show my friends, I know they're gonna be honest. They're gonna tell me if it's bad. They'll be like, yo, it's trash, or what is that? Like they'll laugh in my face, you know? Because like I've been thinking about doing this since like middle school. And I'm glad I didn't do it back in middle school because I look at my like middle school designs. I'm like, yo, that crap was awful. What was I thinking back there? The friend. But like I showed them to them and they all liked it. Like, yo, that's fire. That's actually good. I'm like, yo, they actually like it. That means like they actually do like it. You know, you need friends and people around you. Your circle needs to be honest. I'll tell Brian any day if something's bad about his content or something that he needs to change. Yeah. You know, like there was one time he sent me a TikTok that he was making. I'm like, he's like, oh, you like this, bro? I spent like an hour on this. I'm like, yo, listen, it's cool. It's definitely fire. But like, what if you did this?
Hostage. Yeah. That was perfect.
For an extra like 2 hours, I was texting him back and forth.
There was like 12 save files when I was like, because I started running low on hard drive space somehow. And I saw all the edits of that one video. There was like 12 of them. There was 12 different ones before you were like, all right, right there. Right there. Yeah.
That's like, what you need, man. Like you need
100%.
Need to be surrounded by honest people, man. And it's like I said, like I love the group of people I've met on here and the people that I've built genuine relationships with and rapports. It's like it's insane that like I have my 5-6 people that in Discord or on social media that'll blast me like, yo, when you come back to stream, and then I'll have like out of that 6, it'll be my friend Alexis who trolls me, just says it to get everybody else to start saying it because she's that petty. What's up, Alexis? So
Texas. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's from Texas. But so it's just mind blowing. Like it's so humbling because it's like sometimes you think you don't have an effect. Like your intent is to have an effect on people, but it's just so fucking like mind blowing. Like the amount of DMs that I get of people asking like, hey man, like why aren't you? What's going on? Like we missed this. And I'm like, dude, this is like fucking is earth shattering because at times you think you're making these things and you don't know if it's having an effect. And your intent is to have an effect, but you ultimately don't know because maybe you see it would prefer it to be at a grander scale. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but to have DMs on Twitter and DMs on IG and like, yo, man, I really miss your shit, bro. Like, and it's just like super, super humbling, just super, just, just grounded like shit. Like, it's just super grounding. Like, it just makes me see that like I was doing something right. You know, I was providing an entertainment that causes people to think. Because like you said, Brian, like we've like on my streams, it won't be just like we would go into topics of like just we would be deep times. Like we would just talk about like society, or we'll watch horror shorts, or like during our just chatting, or we'll troll train somebody, or we'll just do just random things, sometimes with purpose, sometimes with no purpose, sometimes freestyle, sometimes planned. But it's just great that I was able to, and I always said in my streams, like, I appreciate you guys, stole from Joe Budden's, of course, the first time listeners, last time listeners, I love you guys no matter what. I would say, you could have, and this is from Jay-Z, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but this moment you're here with me. And I appreciate that. And that's true. They could be anywhere else in the world doing anything, but they're taking their time out to spend it with you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've literally said the exact same thing.
That's his tagline. That is his tagline. He says it all the time. Legit. When you said that, I did not know Jay-Z said that. That came up in my brain as a Brian.
Jay-Z said in what? Excuse me, miss?
You thought no.
That was excuse me, miss. I don't
think so. Hold on.
I don't know who's a bigger Jay-Z fan.
That was excuse me, miss.
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Look it up, man. Look it up. That was excuse me, miss.
Nah, it's something else. It's something else. But like, I've said the same thing because people will get on my Twitter. Like, I have a pet peeve, and that's why I'm not on gaming Twitter as often. Like, that's why I'm like missing for days and days and days. It's because like it gets old.
I am here.
People will cry about not having as many viewership, or like, man, I feel like my stream is dead, when they forget like those are literal people. Like, those numbers aren't numbers. That's somebody with a soul, a heart, a brain, like me and you, like choosing to take their time. Someone once cried about people lurking. Like, I'll never forget. They're like, I feel like if you lurk, oh God, I didn't mean to change my voice. I feel like if you lurk,
you didn't want to expose the person.
I feel like if you lurk,
at me next time, dog. No, but like,
drop that.
But like, I feel like if you lurk, you don't like my content. I don't know why you're there. And like, and I'm a habitual lurker, right? Like, like I'll be there. Yeah. I may not be able to talk, but that doesn't mean I don't hear you. It doesn't mean that I'm not still soaking in the content. I might be like creating a video, but I might have your volume really, really low, so that I can still hear what you're saying in between me doing what I'm doing. I'm still gonna look up this Jay-Z thing real quick. But
dude, no, like what you said is 100% spot on. Like, I said the same thing, but equating it to Discord. I've had people like, like look at it as a pity that maybe I didn't get a good morning or something. And I'm like, these are grown ass people. I don't care if they're doing it in everybody else's Discord. I don't expect everybody has a life. Like, you don't owe me shit. Like, nobody owes me shit. Like, you don't have to participate as much as, like, I'm completely unequivocally understanding. Like, it does not bother me. I would hope you don't have the time to cater to being in my Discord all day, being in my streams all night. Hey, talking with me after that, being in my watch parties. I would actually hope you have other things going on because that means you're a sound body with a life. Because if you don't, then I'm like, damn, either you want me or something's wrong here. Like, you're Dahmering me or something's clearly wrong here. Something's clearly wrong here.
Speaking of Dahmer, so Katy Perry's song came on. It was the one, I think it was Dark Horse, as a matter of fact. And then, what's his name? I think it's Juicy J said, she'll eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer. And I've heard that song a billion times. And I was like, yo, this song was ahead of its time because now this song is pop culturally relevant. He said that line and now it's hot. Like, I've heard that song a billion times, but like when he said, eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer, I said, oh.
What's crazy to me, bro, after Dahmer came out, there was so many different TikToks talking about, oh, I didn't realize this rapper said this. I'm like, are you guys? In my head, I was like, because I'm very into psychology, so I know about
hear it,
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter.
I'm very into like psychology.
From,
it was Izzo.
It was Izzo.
He didn't want to say it. Look at him, good guy, Brian. He didn't want to say it.
He
searched it up.
I got no rebuttal. And Jay-Z's my favorite rapper of all time. I have no rebuttal.
So, but like, I don't know everything that everybody from California or from North Carolina says. So you get a pass.
You were just born in California, but okay.
But yeah, anywho.
This man likes to claim California like he lived there for a while.
No.
This man just
saying,
was born
I'm just saying. Somebody could be like, oh.
That's like being born in Africa and being like, oh, I'm black. Get out of here.
Well, I was born in Africa too, man. California at the same time.
Oh, were you?
Damn, the same time.
Time traveler.
Nah, but what I was saying is on TikTok, I saw this trend of people like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer was mentioned in this song. I'm like, bro, I always noticed it when they said that. Like, Juice WRLD said in one of his songs.
Yeah.
Now I forgot what he said. That's crazy.
You by yourself on that. I don't know anything he said.
What do you guys think about the Jeffrey Dahmer outrage?
So
what do you mean, like
I got in trouble on Twitter? I would say I got in trouble.
I'm not aware of the outrage. Can someone inform me? Because I haven't finished watching the show or anything like that.
I haven't even I watched like 1 or 2 episodes.
I skipped to the 8th episode because like there was too much. It was too much for me. I was like, I just want to watch the court trial.
It's worth like full sending the whole thing. Like I was just talking to the guys at work. I was like, I watched episode 1 in like 3 parts because it's slow and like you know this dude's about to become a victim, or at least I thought so. And I was like, man, he about to eat this guy. He about to eat this, bro.
He started dancing. He was like, oh,
get the camera. I'm like, you gotta get eaten. And I didn't want to watch that, so I was taking it in pieces. Like, because the older I've gotten, like, I can still watch scary movies. Gore doesn't really bother me, but there's something about like the darker element. Like, I gotta take it.
It was too much.
Man.
It was too
Do
much.
you feel like when it's true, that's what makes it more non-digestible? No pun intended. With Dahmer eating people?
I wouldn't say
I think nowadays they're just more willing to push the envelope. Yeah. I think the envelope is getting pushed more and more and more. Like there's the darker things aren't taboo anymore, so it's becoming normal. And trying to stay pure, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digested that slow, but then like episodes 2 through 8. 2 through 8, like if you actually watch them, I promise you, I watched almost all of those in like one sitting. And then now I'm starting to slow down again. Like I just finished episode 10, which is the last one. So it's worth watching like all the way.
I'm not saying the quality of it. I'm saying, how do you guys feel about the outrage? That
like
people want it canceled.
No,
people want the show canceled. They think it's inappropriate. We shouldn't see stuff like this on TV.
They think it's glorifying it.
Glorifying, romanticizing him. The family is dealing with so much, and we care about the family. Like, how do you guys feel about that outrage?
I guess I'll respond first because for me, I tried watching it and I couldn't. I skipped to episode 7 and like started from there. But I watched all episode 1. I did watch all episode 1. I tried watching like most of episode 2. I couldn't do it. For me, it was the way that they did it. Like, cause I watch a bunch of true crime type stuff. Like, I love
all the time.
Mindhunter is like my #1 show of all
I
time.
love Mindhunters.
I love
That's our
that
jam,
show.
brother.
Where's season 3 at? That's a side note though. But
Yeah.
I love Mindhunter. I love how they did that. But with Mindhunter, I feel like they focus more on the investigation and the people running the investigation than what the serial killer was necessarily doing. You know what I mean? When I was watching Dahmer, it felt like I was like in the room watching him do that. You know, if you can, you know, imagine that. It felt like I was in that scene, and that's credit to the directors
Very
and the
immersive.
filmers because they made it immersive as crazy, like as frick. But to be so immersed in that scene, it gives you like makes you feel dirty, makes you want to feel like you want to take a shower afterwards, or like you just don't want to watch it. And that's why I couldn't get through the first 2 episodes, which was like a crazy thing for me because that never happened to me. You know, I can watch anything. I'm always able to watch anything, but I couldn't.
That first episode is a hard watch. Like that. I think that's what at first, like, I was like, man, I don't know if I can get through this. But I guess as far as like the community outrage thing, like, I'm not pro or anti. I like just watching certain medias, and like I like crime stories. Like I have to explain to my wife all the time because I can watch like Forensic Files, like, all of these things, and it seems like it's a violent thing, but like I like processing investigative stuff, seeing what they did wrong, how they could have got caught, and of course we go, I'd never do that, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's just what is attractive to me. I can't watch a lot of super story-based things. I like things that are more like this factually happened. This is how they got caught. This is what we're doing now as far as technology to prevent these things from going on and catch killers easier. I think I just like the investigative part of it. So I like the series. I like that he got caught. There's something satisfying about like evil monsters getting caught for me. So I see it that way, and seeing how you stop them versus, you know, people thinking it's glorifying. I guess it just depends on how you operate, how you see things. But I know that like there was a lot of people saying, oh, it's glorifying, like, you know, killing black people, killing gay people. And I don't think that was the intention. That's not the intention at all.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think people are just, I say to Josh all the time, like looking for an enemy where there may not even be one. Like, you know, it's an art form. It's telling a story. It like I would have never known they killed, you know, the Asian people or anything like that. If I went based on what social media told me, it was a white dude killing a bunch of black guys, and that's it. You know, it wasn't a gay dude who was in these situations that were, you know, catered to his hunting style. You know, it wasn't racially motivated. The dude that he ends up like truly falling for was a black guy. Like, it was a black guy. It was just the environment he was in. He was attracted to that guy. He almost had him a lifelong partner.
And it's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's crazy because I saw like a bunch of Twitter tweets and people were like, "Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer," and I don't want to get too much into like politics or anything like that. But they're like, Jeffrey Dahmer like used his white privilege to get away with his crimes. I'm like, yo, I don't think Jeffrey Dahmer was even aware of white privilege. Like if you watch the show, he was just he was just doing it. You know what I mean? I hate how people are like pushing their agendas or whatever this man was doing. I'm not trying to defend him either because this man's a disgusting monster. You know? But I'm saying, like, if you watch the show and you read about it, whatever, you can tell this man was just doing it. Like, he did not care about being caught. You know, the fact that he was like hiding the bodies inside his apartment, like cutting the bodies inside of his apartment. Like the smell wasn't even mad, so it was going to other apartments and stuff like that. He did not care. That was the main thing. He did not care. And it wasn't a thing where he was using his white privilege to do whatever he was doing. It was just that he just wanted to do whatever he was going to do, and he was going to do it regardless of the consequences. You know, and that's the only thing there really is to it.
He was detached from anything that wasn't like his life. And that just goes to show that like people that you think are completely normal, they can go through all the motions and be completely not normally 100% disengaged and not with us. Like they're here, but they're not here, you know, like, and that's a prime example. Well, they walk amongst us, man.
I agree with what Josh said about that outrage. Well, I agree with the person who said that, right? And this is where I disagree. I think people are looking to be outraged about something because social media gives everyone a voice, and you can voice and say whatever you want, think impulsively, whatever. Yes, white privilege did exist for Jeffrey Dahmer because the same way it existed for Charles Manson. Charles Manson was repeatedly thrown in jail and he was let out because white people were not seen as, at that time, violent, super repeat offender criminals, and nobody gave a fuck. But that was the norm. It wasn't even considered white privilege. It was just the way things were. Yeah. And we're taking our modern way of thinking and like, oh, he had white privilege. Like, yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. That was the normality. Yeah. Like, duh, you're not presenting anything new to the table. Like, yeah, he was a white man in the 60s and they were viewed differently. You didn't, Einstein, you didn't give us nothing fucking groundbreaking. Yeah. That was the way it was.
Like, it's kind of like, I think what you're trying to say is we're judging the standards of the past by our standards today.
Yeah, but they're coming off as if like, oh, this is, I've never seen this type of fucking toleration done before. Like, you need to go read the fucking old history books. Like, this was the normal thing. Like, you didn't present any groundbreaking info. Yes.
Right.
He more than likely had white privilege. Duh.
Yeah. Like, I think it's like looking at like an old like 1950s, 1940s movie and being like, oh, why does that have like racist stuff in there? Like, why is this black character a man or something like that? You know?
Yeah.
There's so many movies like that. And I've seen people be like, oh, those movies should be banned. They're racist, this and that. I'm like, yo, listen, you can say whatever you want, but like those are like just how the times were at that time.
Yeah.
It would be a problem if the times were still like that.
However, the Song of Music needs to be banned.
I don't think it's anywhere. I don't think you can even stream it or anything. I'm pretty sure even Disney was like, yeah, we can't keep showing that. Mickey Mouse gave up on that.
Oh, we gotta give that up. That's right. Like, dude, Josh, I don't know if you saw the Song of Music, bro. That needs to be eradicated from the history books. Like, I'm talking about put it anywhere.
I'm talking about like stuff with like subtle racism, you know, like I'll look at it and be like, well, that's just what the time was. If it was like some like guy with like blackface, I'm like, yo, I'm not watching that. Come on, take it off my screen. Like, come on, what's up with you? You know,
like, what's good with you, bro? Wild.
And a black actor got paid to play that character. That's crazy. He said he did okay, boss.
I got some homework to do after this video now.
You won't probably be able to find much footage. It's probably just going to be 2 or 3 minute clips on YouTube.
I'll find it.
Oh, okay.
He's going to go to the dark web. He's going to find it.
I'm going to post about it on Twitter afterwards.
He's going to find the wrong community. They're going to be like, I know you. You could be immersed. You could be in so far deep and then you don't even realize it. And you're like, man. Every time like people start like walking past him, he will start locking his doors for no reason. He been moving Tyrone. Like, and not even realize it until it's too late.
Oh, man.
Josh gonna be outside the campus in a rocking chair with a shotgun and hay sticking out his mouth. Keep on walking. Like, when did Josh get like this?
I don't play with us no more.
I got immersed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Damn, immersion is real, man.
It is, man.
Maybe they were right about Dahmer. Maybe I shouldn't see the movie.
Honestly, yeah, it really does immerse you though. Like, honestly, to watch it just felt like too much, you know. But
I think with Dahmer, like, think that people should be upset that it did happen, but
agreed.
I think if something started happening today, it's probably more targeted. Where at that point, I think it was just his hunting ground was his hunting ground. He wasn't a wealthy man. His dad wasn't wealthy. He lived where he lived because that's what he could afford. That's what he was comfortable with.
Yeah.
What he was around was what he was around. I think it's just situational. And kind of like you said, like, he got out easier than he may have, you know.
Yeah, I think it's clear. It's definitely clear that white privilege helped him, but it's definitely clear at the same time that he wasn't shooting for white privilege to help him. If that makes sense.
I think it was situational.
You know what I mean? It's definitely situational.
It was an inherited thing that he had rather than something he sought out.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I don't think most of them, like most people in his position, let's say the lower white class, that was just the norm. It wasn't seen as a privilege. Like, this is supposed to happen. I'm white, and I get away with shit.
And at the same time, him also being like gay definitely helped him out too.
He was a minority too.
Yeah. him.
Did you remember the first episode?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring that up. Him
I was
being
gonna say, yo, they did Man 30. They said,
yeah, him being discriminated against
Nah,
because he was gay.
I don't know if we can, but yeah, basically they kind of were like, yo, this is a nasty house just because of his lifestyle, not the stuff they found out about, but like he was a second-class citizen in a sense.
But I wasn't even going to bring that up, though.
I'm not trying to like make it seem like, oh, he was a victor, but like they also were like, we don't really rock with you.
The fact that he was gay, though, he got away with one murder. I'll tell you. I think this happens early in the series, anyways. But he got away. There was literally a minor running naked in the streets from his house. He escaped. Yeah. He came around the corner. He was like walking normally. He was being stupid, like he always being stupid. The cop was there talking to the kid. There was 2 other girls there, and they knew that he came from his apartment. And the cop was like, "Oh, do you know this guy?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my boyfriend." You know, and already this guy's like, "Oh, this guy's gay," and he has, you know, certain views about that, and he doesn't want to deal with it anymore because he's gay. And he's like, "Oh, well, he said he's his boyfriend. Okay, just go back to the apartment with him then." And he's done with the situation. And in that way, discrimination helped him. You know, he got helped in a sense. Different ways.
They didn't want to be involved.
He didn't want to be. They did not want to be involved.
They said, "We got to go shower now." Like I was like, "Yo, that's rowdy."
And literally, the girls right next to him were saying, "This kid's a minor. He's a minor. He's a minor." And the cop said, "Well, his boyfriend said he's not a minor, so I don't care." You know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say watch it if you can handle it. If you can't
handle it, I can handle it. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's like 10 episodes. It's one season thing, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely. I gotta finish watching because I went to the movies recently. I watched Pearl, and I never saw X.
What's Pearl?
Pearl was Did you see the movie X?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's this new slasher horror film. It's great. I love Pearl. Pearl was great because it was so much homage to the Wizard of Oz, but a slasher aspect on it. Like it does little cues and cheesy, like the way the camera does a little tunnel vision, then it spreads out like how the old Looney Tunes type shit.
Yeah.
And it does like even like the red slippers is like Easter egged in there, and it does just definitely look it up. It's just about a female who's a slasher murderer killer, and the female playing her, Mia Goth, did an amazing fucking job. Like it's a completely character driven film where she has to carry the entire film on her back, and she does an amazing job. And this is the prequel, even though it came out after, but this is the prequel to the movie X, where X was the movie with Kid Cudi in it, and it was a group of people who were gonna go shoot a porn, and they went on to watch that.
I forgot about that movie.
They went to go shoot a porn on an old people's farm. This is like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And so the old lady is Pearl, which the new movie that came out is her as an old woman and her old husband. But Mia Goth is one of the women who are with them to shoot the porn, and Mia Goth is also playing old Pearl. So she's dual rolled, and she puts on the old prosthetic and the old makeup.
Yeah.
And she played Pearl as a young woman in this movie, and I gotta see X, man. I gotta see X because Pearl was really good. It was like one of my favorite films this year.
It sounds like definitely like it'd be a good watch.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But all right, guys, we are pushing 2 hours. Yeah, we're pushing 2 hours. This is gonna be a long one. I think we should start to get into our closing. So
I'm with it.
Brian, do you have any questions, any burning questions you want to ask before you do anything?
I guess for the people that are just now getting introduced to you, because like we're familiar with you, but for people that you may be new to them, what are I know you said you're probably thinking about YouTube, but like what would be the concrete easiest way for people to keep up with the moves that you're going to make?
Yeah. The easiest concrete moves. I would say my IG and Twitter. Underscore AnonymousRae, Ray spelled with an E at the end on IG. Twitter Anonymous_Ray, again Ray with E at the end. I'm building to something. I'm gonna come back to streaming. It's just that I'm trying to get my ducks in order. I completely wiped my IG. Like I have no pictures, no posts. I only communicate through stories and DMs. Again, it's the rebranding process, and I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna get everything lined up. I definitely am gonna be coming back soon to streaming. It's just that I gotta integrate and figure out how I want to do it. If I want to do a dual approach with YouTube and Twitch, right. And like you said, even push Twitch to my YouTube and then transition slowly to YouTube, or just I don't want to jump out the window because weaning people off of things is people don't like change. Right. So I feel like I have to go where my people are, which they are on Twitch, and wean them to my YouTube. And then at least when I build my YouTube, I can have a good core audience. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of the plan so far.
Can I say,
what's up?
I made a little oopsie.
What's up?
So you know how before this you were talking about like if we're gonna stream this or not. So I accidentally pressed start streaming button, so let's start recording. So we've been streaming for the last 2 hours on my channel.
What channel? Your personal?
No, MP88.
Oh.
Yeah. I can download the stream right after, so it'll be fine. But
you motherfucker!
I did not.
You lied to me.
Good thing I've been more tame this stream, I feel like, than I have been with any of them, because
I looked down
stuff when I know we're pre-recorded.
I looked down and I thought I was recording, and I see it stop streaming instead of stop recording. I'm like, huh? Then I look at my phone. I go to my channel and it says you're live. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. That's funny.
So I guess POS and P80 channel. Sorry first,
I accidentally just saw the results to the UFC fight that was going on, like as we were like recording this, or I guess streaming this. And now I don't even need to watch it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
It'd be like,
so wait, none of this was recorded? It's been all streamed?
It's all been streamed.
Even when your shit shut down? Like, do you even know if it...
Yeah. My class, it says it's been going for 2 hours.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we have been behaved this whole time.
I'm glad.
I mean, I did shit on Twitch. I didn't expect it.
The best way to do it.
Fuck them.
You're streaming on Twitch? I thought
he's streaming on Twitch. On Twitch.
Now he's going to go check. Look at him.
Yeah.
It says right there. Yeah. It says my boy has been live. Yeah, that's wild.
This is why you should have looked at your phone and be like, oh, why are you live?
Yeah, man.
So honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I only really pay attention to the Twitch notifications if I know like one of y'all is gonna be coming up soon. Like I'm about to hop on. But other than that, dude, I put that junk in focus mode, and then the only notifications I get are text messages and phone calls. But like because I'm not at work and it knows I'm not at work, like I get the notification. Yeah. But yeah, I would have never looked for it because I didn't expect you to be live. But there it was.
Technical difficulties.
Yo, how many people in there?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at the chat. They probably thought I was ignoring them. That's crazy.
Somebody probably made you like an offer. They're like, yo, I feel like you should play in the NBA. You want to be a Chicago Bull? And you were just like, nope.
Got raided by Ninja.
I'm gonna grab my stream card.
Nick Marks was like, yo, this is Skyline right now. He's got 2 people in there. We're about to bless him. Yeah.
Ignored all 26,000 comments. Like just completely.
It says I'm playing Call of Duty right now.
Gosh,
even better.
This might be the wildest thing you've ever done, bro.
I try to always make sure something like this doesn't happen. I don't know how it
did. Bro. I'll be over checking. Like I'll be in OBS and I'm like,
yeah, but I kept looking down to make sure that I was recording, like especially after my screen phased out for a second.
You didn't even see like your bitrate monitor, like showing that you were live.
So
you didn't see that little.
It did. It does show me my crap, but it didn't register in my brain. Like it shows me my FPS. It says live right next to the number of how long we've been going for, but it didn't register in my brain that it says live. It usually says recording.
I'm fucking dead.
That's crazy. But let's close this out by what's your socials? Let's hear the socials. Let's hear the plugs now.
All right. So Twitter, Anonymous_Ray, E at the end of Ray, IG _AnonymousRae. I tried to get them as the same, but somebody stole the IG from me. Whatever. Fuck that guy.
He's not as cool as you.
Nah, fuck no. Twitch @Anonymous_Ray. You know, content is gonna be coming soon. Clothes gonna be coming soon. I'm just getting everything in order, lining shit up, man. It's not about me though. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yes, sir.
It is
my biggest.
We want you.
Yeah, thank you,
man.
I appreciate
it. That's why you're here.
This is our longest podcast yet. That's how you know we enjoyed it.
That's crazy. My biggest thing is like, again, people, anybody listening, anybody watching, embrace your uniqueness, man. Be fucking great. Don't follow trends, man. Just embrace what's great about you. Strive at it. Be the best you, and just fucking create. Like, just go out and create. Whatever your art is, whatever your canvas is, just go out and create. And that's my only message to people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, guys.
We appreciate you being here.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you being here. Listen to that man's final message because it was 100% facts. Please drop him a follow, drop him a sub. You saw this man's mad entertaining, and he has a lot of that wisdom. You know, that's very hard to find a lot of people these days. Yeah,
you know? and he's about to bless us with 16 bars.
Oh yeah, spit that freestyle.
Mm-hmm. Whoa!
You didn't know? You didn't know?
I can't spit no bars, man. I'm a writer. I can't. I don't have cadence, vocal projection.
Brian got it. 16 bars. Do it, Brian.
Let's go, Brian.
I can't do it right now. Y'all got me at 10:30 p.m. This is hey, hold up. While I got you here, I'm gonna tell you something about it, Josh.
Let's go.
Josh and I are competitive.
Did you just say I'm grimy?
Nah, hear me out, right? So like, we like to play UFC, right? And I'll play this dude any hour of the day before like 10. But this dude, like, I would get done like streaming for like 3 or 4 hours, like Call of Duty on a Sunday, bro. Sundays are crazy. Uses a lot of your energy. This dude will be like, "You trying to play UFC?" And I'm like, "Nah, dog, it's late. I don't perform this way. Like, I want to win, so I don't like to, play UFC this late because I want to smash you." This dude will like bully you into playing at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then he'll win, and you'll never hear the end of it. Like, you got me. Look at you. Like, toxic, bro. Toxic.
That's bad. I saw the clips of him knocking you out. I think he posted on Twitter or somewhere, and he's like, "Yeah, look what I did to Brian, bitch ass nigga."
Yeah. That's why I put him in the post. Or no. I did that new format where it's like the dude and the girl watching the TV, and then it's you get knocked out.
Yeah. I saw that one too. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
You violated me. 10:30. This is when you like to start cutting up.
Nah, you violated me though. Out of nowhere, I see a ping on freaking Twitter. Brian says @POS MPD. I'm like, oh, I wonder what this is gonna be. Man puts me getting knocked out and then leaving. And then 12 people liked it. That's what got me. I was fed up. I'm like, who the frick liked this, bro? Who the frick liked this? Why?
I think I liked it.
He said the volume of people that is liking this is outrageous or something like that in a quote tweet. I'm gonna go back and like it myself. I don't even like my own tweets, but I'm gonna go back and like it just so that you get that note.
Retweet yourself.
Just retweet.
But all right, to stream, I guess, and to POS YouTube, drop a sub, drop a like, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to AnonymousRae. Follow him on Twitter, follow him everywhere he's at. We'll put the links in the description, and we will catch you guys on another episode soon. Deuces.
Absolutely.